Lol, I don't know what to say here, so on with the video. It isn't easy. Part 8. Dash. The day went on pretty simply, other than the twins' mom continually obsessing over how tall Sakuatsu was. Eventually she gave up on the idea that Sakuatsu was going to hurt them after seeing him wash the dishes. She was glad to have a helping hand and started to mouth words like, "You better bring this guy again, and isn't he so amazing?" or "Why can't you help me like this?" to Atsumu from across the room every so often. Atsumu took slight offense but was glad that his mother had taken a liking into Sakuatsu. "Shouldn't you be getting home? It's getting kinda late, don't ya think?" Sakuatsu looked up from his place, sat down on the couch to meet her eyes. "Not that I'm tryna get rid of you, of course. Please come around again. Just thinking that your parents might be worried of where you are. Plus you have school tomorrow, right?" Sakuatsu nodded. "No worries. I didn't think you were trying to get rid of me anyways. I should be getting off soon though, even though my parents probably aren't in." She raised an eyebrow and sat down on the edge of the couch. "Why won't your parents be in?" "Oh." Sakuatsu sat up more straight and crossed his legs, resting his chin onto his hand. "They don't finish work until 3 a.m. Her eyes widened until they formed a saddened expression. "Oh, I'm sorry about that. Must suck not being able to see your parents that much, eh? It's okay. I don't mind too much. I do wish I could see them a little more though, but I understand that they're busy and have important things to do." She formed a soft smile. "Well, you're always welcome here." Sakuatsu smiled back at her and slowly started to stand up. "But you're right. I should probably head home. It's getting late." "Oh wait, I didn't mean you had tea." "It's fine really. Atsumu probably need to sleep and I'd just be bothering him." Ichika stood up herself. "Actually, Atsumu tends to stay up late." Sakuatsu raised an eyebrow. "So you want me to stay now?" "What? I'm not forcing you, of course." Sakuatsu laughed slightly. "It feels like you're trying to make me stay, so I'll stay." "What? You don't have to if you don't want to. You can go home." "Oh, so now you want rid of me?" "What?" Sakuatsu chuckled. "Just teasing you. Sorry, I'll stay a little longer I guess. But still, Atsumu has school tomorrow. I'll be disturbing him." She paused and squinted slightly before whispering, "Don't play dumb." "Huh? Sorry, I didn't hear you." "Oh. Nothing. Sorry. But still, Atsumu stays up pretty late even when I tell him not to, so I guess he doesn't need that much sleep." She bit her lip, pausing for a second. "I don't know if Atsumu has told you any of this, but I'm gonna ask anyways." "Sure. Go ahead." She sat back down again and Sakuatsu followed, doing the same. "Atsumu has been sneaking out a lot recently. Has he told you anything about it?" Sakuatsu's mouth opened slightly as his voice got caught in his throat. I didn't know what he expected her to ask, but didn't think he'd get this stuck for works if she asked this. He knew that Atsumu's mother knew that he snuck out, so he didn't understand why he got so caught in his throat. Ichika smirked before talking again. "I guess not. Tell me if you know something, K." Sakuatsu nodded nervously before standing up. "I'm gonna go check to see what's taking Atsumu so long in the bathroom now." She smiled and nodded as Sakuatsu started to walk away and up the stairs towards the bathroom. Sakuatsu knocked on the bathroom door before realizing that Atsumu wasn't in there, so he turned around to walk to his bedroom. And of course, there was Atsumu, laid on his bed playing on his phone. Sakuatsu smiled as he walked in, closing the door behind him and laying on the older's bed. "Hey baby." Atsumu whispered in case someone was listening in on their conversation. "Hey." Sakuatsu hummed, sitting behind Atsumu and placing his legs either side of Atsumu's. He rested his head on Atsumu's shoulder, watching what Atsumu was doing on his phone. "What you doing?" "Just scrollin' though Twitter." Sakuatsu hummed again and placed a kiss on Atsumu's neck, making him giggle. Why didn't you come back to the living room?" "Seemed like you were having a conversation with Ma. Didn't think I should interrupt." "I guess." Sakuatsu gave Atsumu a squeeze before turning Atsuma's TP plan a kiss on Atsumu's lips. Atsumu smiled. Eventually Sakuatsu left. I had gotten late and couldn't really stay the night. I had brought nothing with him, though he was sure that Atsumu's mom wouldn't really mind if he did stay over. 12:40 p.m. Atsumu with his teammates at lunch. They all made mindless conversation whilst eating. Atsumu sat between Osamu and Akagi. Osamu and Atsumu playfully fighting every minute or so and Kita telling them both to shut up and stop it. Neither of them did. Why are they like this? Kita turned to Eren sat next to him who simply shrugged in reply. I wouldn't be able to tell you. You're acting like this is a new thing. They're always fighting. I guess we've just gotten used to talking like this about them every time they fight. At least you lot aren't sat next to the idiots. Atsumu puffed his cheeks out and temporarily stopped trying to stop Osamu from taking his food. We aren't that bad. Well, I'm not that bad. Osamu rolled his eyes and quickly grabbed some of Atsumu's food with his chopsticks and stuffed it into his mouth. Hey. Sorry, were you eating this? Atsumu scoffed and hit Osamu around the back of the head. Yes. Clearly. You prick. I'm not a prick. You just left your food out on the table for too long. Didn't know you were eating it, Samu. Even after I bought you a nigiri when I didn't owe you it. Atsumu, that was weeks ago. Atsumu pouted. Don't touch my food again, dickhead. Yeah, whatever. We're not that bad. Akagi cockily imitated Atsumu, making the blonde pout again. You guys are so mean to me. It was directed at Osamu too, but he doesn't seem to care. Akagi looked towards Osamu who was again stuffing his face with Atsumu's food. Noticing Akagi's amused gaze, Atsumu followed his gaze. Samu. What? Why do you keep eating my food? You have your own. I know I have my own. I just felt like being a dick. Atsumu pouted angrily and stomped on his food under the table. Ow. Oi. Stop that. Don't eat my food next time. From the opposite of the table, Kita stared at the two with a blank expression on his face. I don't get it. You're not meant to. It's sibling shit. Suna perked up from his position next to Osamu. How are you able to deal with these two fighting all the time? Don't know. You kinda just ignore them. It's pretty easy once you get used to it. Plus when you don't ignore them and record them instead, it makes for some great videos. Kita mentally face-palmed himself. You're just as bad at these two at this point. Maybe. You're slightly more manageable because you're not loud like these two idiots here. I respect Atsumu slander. Hey, what? Kita paused for a moment before he seemed to have remembered something. Oh. That reminds me actually. Atsumu. Atsumu raised an eyebrow and squinted his eyes. Hey. What? What does Atsumu slander remind you of? It's just a figure of speech. I just remembered something. Oh. Right. Go on. Oh wait, let me say it. Okay. Jinjima cleared his throat. You're dating someone and didn't tell us. Atsumu's eyes widened and Osamu choked on his food. What? Atsumu is dating someone, yay. Weren't you listening when she told us earlier? No, not really. Honestly didn't even notice she was there. Atsumu's voice got caught in his throat as he tried to form words. Luckily Osamu was finished from his episode of dying and spoke up. Atsumu dating someone? Who? What? Who told you that? Atsumu hasn't told you? He's dating that guy from Itachi, am I right? Osamu looked worriedly at Atsumu whose eyes had gotten even wider. He bit his lip. Atsumu is gay. Apparently so. Who told you? Ha. So you do know. Not the point. Osamu's eyebrows furrowed as he placed a hand on Atsumu's shoulder in an attempt to calm him down, though it didn't seem to work. Who the fuck told you? Their team went silent at the sound of Osamu's raised voice. They could see pure anger in his eyes. Whoa, what? Chill. She said Atsumu was fine with us guys knowing. Sarah. Why? Atsumu bit his lip while nervously playing with his hands under the table. Osamu's eyebrows furrowed even more as he rubbed Atsumu's shoulders with his thumb reassuringly. Sarah, ha. I'm confused. Good for you. Osamu stood up and grabbed Atsumu, pulling him away from the table. Bye. Osamu walked out of the cafeteria and onto the roof, bringing Atsumu with him. No one really came on the roof, so he felt it was a good place to get some peace and quiet. Atsumu was acting really nervous and scared, staring at the ground as if he had seen a ghost whilst playing with his fingers. Osamu's eyebrows softened as he wrapped his arms around his brother, giving him reassuring squeezes while Atsumu buried his head into Osamu's shoulder. It's alright, okay. He could hear a few sniffles coming from his older brother. Hearing them, he pulled him into the hug even tighter. He would never want to see his brother so confused and upset. He was also really confused as to why Sarah had taken it upon herself to tell the team about Atsumu and Sakusa's relationship. He wouldn't doubt that it was slightly her business since she was fake dating Atsumu and all, but it sure as hell wasn't her job to tell the team about his relationship. I want Omi. I'm scared Samu. What if she's told someone else as well? Osamu bit down on his lip. He wanted to tell him that she probably hadn't, but he wasn't sure himself. He had no clue what else this girl could have done. I mean, if she was capable of telling the team about Atsumu's relationship even though he had said he wasn't ready to tell them yet, what else could she have done? Atsumu. I trusted her. And sure, she was right. The team didn't react negatively towards me and my relationship, but she still broke my trust. What if she's told Samu? What should I do? What if Grandma knows? Osamu hushed Atsumu while rubbing the back of his head, the older leaning his head over his brother's head. Oh my god. Will Omi be mad once he hears about how stupid I've been? He won't. Ha. Osamu smiled. He didn't doubt for a second that Sakusa would ever react negatively towards his brother for something what was not his fault. I mean, sure, it was slightly his brother's fault for telling her in the first place and fake dating the girl, but that was only because he had placed his trust in her, and what she did was completely uncalled for. Sakusa won't be mad. This isn't your fault. But you trust him, right? Atsumu nodded. Of course he trusted Sakusa. He'd put his life in his hands. From what I've seen from your two's disgusting behavior, Sakusa would never hurt you, ever, at least not on purpose. Atsumu smiled slightly. At least that was something off his chest. So you're like Omi. He seems like a good guy. Ma seems to like him. Ma. Atsumu was reminded again of if Sarah had told his mother about his and Sakusa's relationship. He started to worry again about the whats and the ifs. What if his mother didn't want him anymore? What if she was disgusted? What if she wanted to kick him out? What if she told Grandma? Is Grandma annoyed? Do they hate me now? Osamu quickly brought him out of his thoughts. You know, Ma isn't homophobic. Plus I'm sure that if she found out that you and Sakusa are dating, the last thing she would do is tell the old hag. She isn't as hag. She is. She's not. Atsumu, she's a homophobic idiot. I'm not saying to hate her, just saying that she's really uneducated. And a hag. Atsumu scoffed, but his face soon turned into a small smile. Love ya, Samu. Love ya too. Atsumu. Atsumu and Osamu were walking out of school together, Atsumu begging to go see Sakusa, even though he knows that the answer will be no either way. Sakusa's parents were probably in. Oh my god, fine. Ha. Really? What? You wanted to see Sakusa, right? Okay. Call him. But his parents will be in. So you were begging me to see him even though you know that his parents were home. Precisely. Osamu mentally face-palmed himself as they continued to walk out of the gate. Just call him when we get home. We can invite him over if you want. I'm sure Ma won't mind. Really? Why are you asking me like I'm Ma? I'm just saying. Bringing him over will make you happy. Atsumu smiled. See. You do care about me. Osamu rolled his eyes and scoffed. Of course I care about you, moron. Shut up. Atsumu smiled again as they continued walking. They continued to walk and talk, teasing each other every so often, but overall just being happy together. Though their laughs and teases were soon cut off as someone familiar stood in front of them. Hey guys. Atsumu's face dropped and Osamu's eyebrows furrowed as he clenched his fists, wanting to throw hands, but knew that was probably not the best decision. Why are you here? Osamu tried his best to not seem angry, but didn't seem to work for himself since Sarah's innocent smile soon fell off his face and somewhat formed a worried or scared expression. Osamu placed a hand on Atsumu's shoulder. He could tell that he was really nervous and worried even though he wasn't looking at him. Everything okay? Osamu scoffed. Everything okay? Fuck off, Sarah. What do you want? Her eyes widened as she looked over to Atsumu for some sort of help, but all she found was a nervous boy staring at the ground with wide eyes, her eyebrows furrowed. No need to be so rude. Why are you being so toxic? Osamu laughed. Toxic? Really? Me? Says you bitch. Excuse me. What the fuck is wrong with you? Atsumu chose to take date for a reason. And that reason was definitely not for other people to find out. They didn't react negatively, so why are you coming at me like this? People were going to find out eventually. It wasn't your place to say, fucktard, what the fuck is wrong with you? You aren't Atsumu. You don't have a say in when he really comes out. Atsumu wanted to stop fake dating anyways. To where's the harm in telling people now if they were only going to find out later? You sick fuck. If Atsumu was ready to come out, I'm sure that he would by now. But he hasn't, so he's clearly not ready yet. But I guess he didn't have a choice, huh? Who else did you tell? I told you. No one's else. Osamu's eyebrows furrowed further. I should hope you bitch. Rot in hell. Dash. 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 End of part 8. Hey besties. Hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry for the lack of uploads recently. My exams are coming up, so I've been revising a lot. Plus school has been keeping my busy distraught face. Hope you understand. Anyways, love you guys and I'll see you in the next episode. Also plugging my Discord server again. Join. 𝐤𝐚𝐬𝐲 by besties 2 hearts.